5 minutes.
Your awareness may be powerful enough to control your instincts. Your instinct will be to remove your hand from the box.
It's your girl Meesh, and welcome to another episode of the Love Meeshpodcast. Hey loves, and welcome to another episode of the Love Meeshpodcast. I hope y'all love the new podcast, what do we call it, pick art, and I'll probably be working on a new theme this weekend. Seven Bomar be making music. It don't be no raps or no songs or nothing, it just be music, and it sounds like conscious music to me. I just love it. And I'm going to use that as the background again and make a new intro. After I do so many podcasts, I have to scroll back so far just to find the intro and outro to put on the podcast. And it'd be taking forever. So I have to just keep changing the intro and outro so I don't have to scroll back so much. First things first. Thank you so much for every freaking click. Whether you was on Apple Podcasts, Spotify. I mean, there's so many different ones you guys can go on. Let me see. Let me go down the list. Let me just go down the list. Podlink. So whether you are on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, what is this one called? This one is called Outcast. So many, y'all. Podcast Addict, PCA, Pocket Cast, Google. I didn't even know that. Google got podcasts. I know this one. Stitcher. Podcast Beam. iHeartRadio. Player FM. It just keeps growing. Podcast Republic. Oh, I like how Podcast Republic got them listed, honey. Oh, and I can just scroll down and look at the whole damn list. Rate this podcast at 5 stars. Y'all, give me some ratings. Let me see. Castro. Radio Public. And who was this last one? Oh, I think that's just my RSS. Oh, and Anchor. I'm sure it's more because I had subscribed to a little bit more. You can even use this pod link. The point is, thank you so very much for every single click and listen. I really appreciate it. This is my safe space to vent and talk in my little space, in this universe, in this time and realm, in this dimension. You know, I talk about so many topics. Sometimes people are behind, ahead, whatever you want to call it, because it just is what it is. Everybody don't want to talk about robots. Everybody don't want to talk about vaccines. Everybody don't want to talk about health and vegan, and you know, that's fine. So I just found my own little outlet. I love to learn and grow and share, and when you don't have anybody to share it with, it's just kind of bottled up. So thank you for allowing me to vomit, so to speak, via podcast. And hopefully there's some jewels in there and it reaches who it is supposed to reach. Because I really do feel like God gives each of us a gift in this world. And when I meet my maker, and I feel like, it is a woman, but of course she has masculine and feminine energies. I want to be like, Mama, I used everything that you gave me. This mouth, I definitely used it. So, I just love to learn, but I don't ever keep it to myself. I share it, and I don't want to overwhelm people in my immediate circle. So I gave birth to the podcast, and so here we are. And now, it is reaching, I should have took screenshots. We have over 10,000 plays. We have about 30 active listeners. At one point in time, I had 900 plays on one episode, then 600 plays on another episode. And here lately, it's been 100 plus. So, you guys are really loving the topics. But life is just about learning and growing and sharing. It was a really wonderful quote that I heard. And it was saying, there's someone behind you, right? Pass them your cliff notes of what you've learned already, right? There is someone ahead of you, get their cliff notes. And then, wait, I gotta find it because I think I'm saying it all wrong. Someone, let me see. Someone behind you. Share your notes. Let's see if it comes up. And you know what? Your life will eventually tell you what you're supposed to do. Because ever since I've been a little girl, I've loved books, words, quotes. That has just always been my thing. And here I am. Someone behind you, share your notes. Okay, didn't come up. Someone ahead of you, get their notes. It's bringing up goddamn business shit. Let me see. You know what? I have a quote folder. Let me just look through that really quick and see if I put it in there. Quotes. Yes. Go to my quote folder. And while I'm doing that, let me just say, I think I went to bed at 3 last night, and I swear it felt like I had 10 plus hours of sleep. I can feel a crisp of fall in the air. I've been feeling it for months now. My mom wasn't feeling it, and she's just now starting to feel it. And it would be a tiny bit, but it's starting to be more. It's starting to linger a little bit more. So y'all can, I don't know. I don't care what people say, but time, we're getting more time, whether they say it or not. Because there's no way I went to sleep at goddamn 3 and I felt like I had sleep for the whole night. It's not in here. Let me see if I can think of it the best way. Right, wherever you are right now in your life, write cliff notes, because there's going to be someone behind you that can use them. Okay? Wherever you are in your life right now, look for cliff notes from someone that has been where you are, that is ahead of you, that can help you avoid, some situations. And I just thought that was like, okay, like, in other words, we all have something to share. And if we really just pay attention to each other, we all have the pieces that we need for a better life. But I'm so excited about this episode, y'all. We talk about robots. Y'all know I love futuristic things and robots. I cannot wait to have my own cook breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and whatever else I may need. So I'm super, super excited about this one. Before I get into the podcast, it might be 1, 2, 3. It just depends how fast I can read the stuff. I like to do my Recos. I'm so super excited for this first Reco. It is Neeon Nails, which is my baby sister. She has her own store. You can check her out, neeonnails@gmail.com. You can also visit her website, neonnails.com, and you can check out her Pinterest by typing in Neon Nails. That is spelled Neeon Nails. She's a whole business woman, a wife, a mom, an employee, a business owner. Like, yes, killing the game spiritually. I was telling her, you're not just making nails, you're adding your energy and your chi to those nails. You're going to send it to women. They're going to pick up on that healing energy, and you're also going to give them the magic of beauty. So it's like more than what we have been taught. And then I also want to give a shout out to Love Naturals. I make soap for myself. I stopped using soap when I was telling y'all about the podcast about soap. So just go back if you want to listen to it. There's so many chemicals in there. Our skin is the largest organ on our body. It is our number one defense. And we scrub that shit every day. So when illnesses come, they've taught us, oh my God, germs. Well, what they didn't tell you is when illnesses come, you've already weakened your defenses. You've weakened your defenses. Bacteria and colds are coming and you're wondering why you're sick. Well, did you know there's mites living on your face right now? If you really had a microscope, you could see all the different organisms that's living in different layers of your skin. Do you know you have 3 different layers of skin? You have face skin that's different from hand skin, that's different from feet skin, that's different from, your arms and your legs. Like, they have different climates and cultures, just like the Sahara or the Antarctic or the Amazon, Well, when I learned that, I was like, okay, God didn't teach me this for a reason. Let me make my own soap. I already don't. And it just started to click. Okay, so I can't trust them with the air. They're putting chemtrails in there. Lord help me, I have to breathe. I can't trust them with the water. They're putting fluoride in there. I freaking drink distilled water now and put lime in there. I forgot what my mom said. I think it's called a Keurig. I want to get that big stainless steel one that I could just put gallons and gallons of water in and be good to go. But that junk is like $500 and I can do it. I can do it. But it's not top thing on my list right now. The distilled water is doing just fine. And then it's like, now I can't trust the soap, can't trust the food. It's just like, oh my God, we are constantly at war and we wonder why we die. It's like our lungs are saying the chemtrails, our internal organs, our stomach is saying, it's so much plastic in the food, there's chemicals in food and I can't digest this, like if our organs could talk, there's metals that's getting inside of us that's messing up our brain, and we wonder why Alzheimer's is increasing. It's like they tell us about these diseases, right? But they don't tell us the full truth. Matter of fact, Reza just posted a news report anchor. There was 3 of them, a lady and 2 men, apologizing for how the government lied about the COVID vaccines. Now, let me just give a moment of silence for all the people that died. And let me give another moment of silence for everybody that thought I was crazy. And you know what I've come to believe? If you are crazy in this world, you're actually brilliant. I'm sure they thought Einstein was crazy. The people in the crazy house, they're not crazy. They've just tapped into gifts that you can't tap into. You mean to tell me that someone is telling you that they're talking to someone that you can't see and you think they're crazy? No, baby. The question is, why can't you see? See how they got our mind all twisted up? So when I think about those poor people, because there was even a time when they were just putting people in the crazy house left and right, and you sign your rights away and they're experimenting on you and ain't no telling how many of them died. I think our prison system is the same way. Oh, he went into, holding cell and died. Ain't no holding cell. They probably experimented on his ass. He is government, he or she's government property and probably killed them. Like, they have to keep doing these tests and these studies. When was the last time you saw an ad? I know we don't do magazines anymore. Saying, hey, sign up for this study and get X amount of dollars. Because they're doing it without our permission, you guys. They're doing it without our permission. Or they make up a lie. Oh my gosh, you need to get a shot to save your life. And then when you die or get sick, you can't sue them. Only one person that I've heard of has been able to sue. So this is what gets me. When I think about it, my grandma was very, very intelligent. She did what she could with what she had in her time frame. My mom, very intelligent, did what she could in her time frame, yada, yada. Everything else that goes into that. I'm very intelligent. Do what I can do in my time. Like, we just love knowledge. My grandma reads all the time. My mom reads all the time. I read. So knowledge is freaking there. Am I knowledgeable in all areas? No, but I know I got this one down. I definitely got this one down. I'm actually gonna look into a Harvard class because I want to I'm studying real estate, so I'm gonna see if they have a realtors class. But instead of doing degrees now, I'm sticking with certificates and stuff. Although I think I still want to get my PhD to be continued. My mom got accepted into Harvard and forgot. Who does that? My mom was in a freaking DOS class and it expired. Who knows where she could have been if we still continue to use DOS. But who do you know was into computer programming? I remember that's when we had to go to the library every weekend because she had to study for her during classes. Brilliant. I don't know anyone else that's into computers. My mom. Because I just play on them. But not that whole... The closest thing I got was MySpace, adding the pictures and the songs to the darn page. I'm pretty sure it's easy, though. And that is something that we should be pushing our kids to, because this is the podcast about robots and stuff, and they are the future. If you are not majoring in electronics, your job is going to be replaced, basically. I'll get into that in a moment. But getting back to Love Naturals, I make my own soap now. It does not suds. I was telling her, and I just poured my heart out to this. And this is how I know Spirit will send who Spirit supposed to send. Because I've been in my own world doing my own thing. All I did was call this lady. I didn't even call her. I put in an order for CMOS. She ended up asking me to call her. And then I ended up pouring my heart out to her, crying. And she basically was like, I am a reflection of you. In the future, you are a reflection of me in the past. You're on the right road. Just keep going, baby. Just keep going. She was like, you have gone so much further than me at my age. So she was like, keep going. And I always say, or Sharita taught me actually, that we are reflections of each other. And sometimes I'll be like, I'm not a reflection of that. But it's not that you're a reflection of that. It's more like, okay, you get angry all the time. Let me make sure I'm not harboring onto anger like that because it doesn't look cute. People aren't being around you, and you're probably depressed, and it's probably some shadow work that you need to do. That's what they mean by reflection. Like, what I see in you, let me make sure it checks out in me. Right? Because usually you usually are not around people that aren't like you. That's what I've come to discover. Einstein wasn't around people that weren't coming up with theses and trying to tell, if the sun was revolving around the earth and all this other stuff and the planet. They were around like-minded people. When you go to Silicon Valley, they are like-minded people. When you go to Google, they are like-minded people. Like, when you go to chess tournaments, those are like-minded people. When you go to cheerleading competitions, those are like-minded people. So that's what we mean by mirrors. And as your mind grows and develops, and as your groups change, you're going to start to gravitate around people that are like-minded. Doesn't mean that you can't love and hang around other people. But if you are into gardening and someone else is into mechanics, how much conversation can you guys have with those different interests and those different, things that you guys are interested in versus if you talk to people that have those same interests? I'm just saying. So that's what I've learned as well. But after I poured my heart out to her and she told me I was a reflection of her, we started talking about the soap. And I was like, my soap does not suds. I actually found a video on YouTube. I don't mind shouting the girl out. And when I start to sell my soap, I'm going to put hers on there because I want my store to be do it yourself. But if you don't want to, I got you. I want to kind of be like that. Because I'm only going to make stuff what I want to. I'm still going to work and be able to, take care of my bills. Because I don't want to be... I think sometimes you could be relying on business to where you start making bad decisions because it's your livelihood. And I don't want to be like that. I want to forever be something that I love. So, I want to, pray over my stuff and say, God, send me the person that needs this. I want to put Reiki healing on it. And I want it to do more to them than cleanse them. I want it to actually heal them. So... yeah, I'm just starting with me first. So it's only coconut oil, shea butter, cocoa butter. I actually put some dye in it this time to turn it pink. I put a crystal on top. A clear quartz dyed pink for love. So clear quartz is a magnifier. It's going to magnify or automatically help you with what you need help with, because it's like a rainbow. It's all the colors. And then pink specifically is just for love and healing, and it's all about self-love for me. So, and I actually infused some coconut oil in real roses from my mom's garden, so it has that scent in there. But I also bought rose essential oil. And you do limes. Now in Africa, in small villages, because everything isn't industrious as we think, they bathe with just limes. Now before you go, you're bathing with chemicals. Not too long ago, people were smoking cigarettes not knowing that it caused cancer. Not too long ago, people were drinking alcohol not knowing it was destroying their liver. How long is it going to take before they tell y'all that this soap is doing something? I just happened to run across the book, and I'm so very thankful that I did. So that's what I make, and that's what I bathe with. And it smells so good, and it's natural. And they always say, if you can eat it, it's good for you. I named all food ingredients. If I literally wanted to eat it, I could. Now, the rose essential oil, I might need to find another vendor, because, I didn't make the oil. So do I really know what's in there? No. So I wouldn't eat it for the simple fact of that oil. But minus the oil, shea butter, cocoa butter, coconut oil. You already put food coloring in your food. So, which that's bad too, but I just wanted it to be pink. So as I keep growing with my business, I'll find, more holistic, healthier ways. Speaking of business, oh my God. I was going through my computer, and I found, because I was doing credit repair, I found a business credit repair book that I had. And I literally went through the steps and applied for some accounts, and I got some business accounts where they're called net 30s, where you order your merchandise, they ship it to you, and you got 30 days to pay. And I done ordered stuff already. I'm like, okay, Spirit. Now, I do know in the beginning when you open your business, nobody's paying you attention, like you brand new, like whatever. But my business has been on the books for 3 years. So when they ask you questions on your application and you say, I've been in business for 3 years, they're more apt to give you credit. But when I first applied, they were like, we don't know, yada, yada, yada. And then I was like, I have an account. I don't know what my account number is. Here's a screenshot. And then someone was like, oh, I got it for you. You're approved. $1,000. I'm like, what? So this is going to help with what I ordered. So far, I ordered Hershey Kisses. And this was with a different vendor. So I probably need to do another business podcast. Quill is one of them. Let me run down the list real quick. Let me open up my email. Has nothing to do with robots. I am so sorry, y'all. Let me see. Um, that's my stomach. Let me see. Okay, so my business email. We have Quill and Conco Fleet Services. It was another one. Let me see. Cause I got Quill. I got a net 30 with Quill. Granger. Your Granger account is not open with the net 30. Your limit is 1,000. I was like, what? Oh my God. I have a Quill. I'm in the process of looking into my fleet. That's going to be a gas card. So yeah, I'm just trying to, did I say Conco Fleet? That was the name, my bad. It was another one too. Shopify, Granger, Quill, Uline customer service. I got the Capital One business card. Divvy is another good company. They'll also check your credit for you. Nav is another good business company. But I just circled back around. I was like, okay, I got all these books and all these documents. Let me review this stuff in my laptop and my phone and stuff. And so I'm going to stop ordering books and just read what I already have. And just kind of see where I am and what can work for me. But it's really going to help out with the business. I got some gloves so that I can ship. And they're pink. So that I could make the products without getting my hands messy. I got some pink Hershey Kisses because I'm going to be sending them out with my packages. I found some thermal packages online. I found some pink, how ice packs are so big, but my soaps and my stuff are so small. So I needed a small ice pack just to keep it cool till it got to the person's house. So I found some lip ice packs. I thought that would be cute to put in there. And I'm just excited to open up with a little bit of stuff, see what sell. I also want to start going to the flea market, and I also do Uber. So I'm about to order a card, and when I drop my Ubers off, I want to leave. I don't know if I told y'all this, but my sister, she got us on ordering groceries, and one day, when somebody dropped her groceries off, it was a mom and her 2 boys, and they helped her bring the stuff out the car, to bring it on the porch for my sister. My sister on the 2nd floor. And she gave her what is that? I don't know what that is. She gave her a little bag with candy in it and says, "Thank you for supporting small mom business." I thought that was so cute. And I didn't even think of Uber as a business, but I guess it is. You and your car, y'all are transporting goods, you're your own little tiny business. So I want to have a regular card, say Love Meesh, put my link tree on there because my link tree has everything. Put the little candies in there. And, just tell the people, thank you for allowing me. Because people be tipping good with them Ubers. I just like getting paid every day. And I'm in my car listening to stuff what? You really didn't want to drive to McDonald's and you're going to pay me $20? Bet. It's okay. But anyways, yeah, I'm excited about that. And then, I'm excited to get into real estate too. I wasn't sure. I said I probably should just do my link tree because if I try to put my real estate card in there, I'll probably get in trouble. That's probably going too far with the Uber. But my link tree is everything. So, but the first thing you go see is some real estate. So, by the way, if you know anyone that is interested in purchasing a home, please send that referral my way, and I can connect with my amazing broker, Miss Anna, and we can get the home buying process together. I am so happy. This has been a dream of mine for I don't know how long, and I don't know what I've been doing, but I'm finally here, thank God. And I will finally know the insides of buying a house. Even if you are a homeowner, you don't know the behind the scenes. You just know what your realtor told you and what you heard on the phone calls. I'm going to know the behind the scenes. When I work for IRS, I know the behind the scenes. I know this fraud don't call in and get that money. It sits there and we know they spend it. Like, I know a lot of stuff that people don't know. And it's just going to be so interesting to learn the backside of the housing industry. And just like I learned the backside of the damn credit industry, like, don't be worried about your damn credit score. Get your work history together. You know, have a stable job. And they can hook you up with trade lines to boost your credit score for the home. They have a program for that. There's so many different loans. There's a program for that. Like, as long as you're committed, you have the income, they can get it done. So, I'm super excited about that. And I was talking to my dad the other day, and I was explaining to my dad, I want my real estate niche to be land. I really think Black people will get them a house, but it's the land. So I want land to be my focus. I want tiny homes to be my focus. And I want trailers to be my focus. I don't know why people don't talk about trailers. But baby, you can get you 3 trailers, collect that extra rent on them trailers, and stay in a home while everybody want to be laughing. You get what I'm saying? We got to just think about this differently. But yeah, that's another topic. But getting back to Aya, she made this amazing sea moss. She also sells it in powder. When I went on her Linktree, she does so many amazing things. We were talking about different business opportunities, and she's in the spiritual realm, so nothing weirded her out. If I'm talking about crystals or natural soap or anything, you know, I didn't feel uncomfortable. That's what I learned too. When I talk about things that people don't understand, it makes me feel uncomfortable. Like, you're asking me why I'm not brushing my teeth with toothpaste, why I am using baking soda and coconut oil and peroxide, because I don't want to put fluoride in my mouth. Like, do you understand the reason people are losing their teeth is because they brushed with toothpaste and drunk that fluoride ass water? Of course, by the time your ass turn 80, your teeth gonna be gone. And it's just like, my mind is, I don't know, like, why aren't people connecting the same dots that I am? I will never understand. But just to be able to have that back and forth with someone, like I said, you know, my soap doesn't lather. She didn't say, oh my God, your soap doesn't lather. She was like, oh, you know what? I've been to Africa. They bathe with lime. I could definitely understand when we do our spiritual cleanses and stuff, we use lime. I get it. Like, yes, honey, I didn't have to explain myself. But she invited me to the landing for her birthday, and we just walked around. It was all spiritual people. Everybody had freaking businesses. Even her freaking daughter had a business. It was just such a vibe. Like, and then after I left, my sister was going to do my hair the next day. So I had a love lock appointment. She was like, we going to the river. If you want to go, just hit me up. You got to be up at 6 in the morning. I just met you. But that's what I'm talking about. Like, what? And I wasn't going to be driving. She was like, it's room in the car. Like, yes, this is my tribe. And I was definitely telling her, like, you know, it's not that I feel alone because there's people around. But when I say I'm alone, it's like, if I say the vaccine is harmful and you can't echo that back to me, you know, it's almost like we're not on the same wavelength. But it's cool. It's definitely cool. It's just, I guess it's the best way I can explain it. So check her out for all spiritual goodies. Let me keep moving along. So a really good video movie to watch in lieu of the robot topic would be iRobot, which is amazing. The Jetsons. When I was a little kid, I remember, oh my God, I can't wait for the future. It's going to be like the Jetsons. Not. Pacific Rim was amazing. I got to catch Pacific Rim too. Chappie. Oh my God, I cry with Chappie. Chappie reminds me of real life. This was a fucking baby robot, and it had a choice to be good or fucking gangster. And that's the real world. Like, why we got all these hoodlums in the world? You raise them. Don't argue at the kids. What did they see? Ex Machina was amazing. Zone 414. Now that was the one. Zone 414. Then there's some TV shows. Mr. Robot. Westworld is back on. I love it. I need to see if it's a new episode right now. Humans and Better Than Us. Please check out those robot movies, I don't think they're movies and TV shows. I honestly feel like they are real life, especially the TV show Humans. There was a scientist that wanted to make sentient humans, and I feel like they are sentient. Anything that exists to me is sentient because it has a spark of God in it. A tree doesn't walk around and cough like us, but it's sentient in its own way. I think y'all have heard me say that before. So all things that are sentient in their own way. Just because without God, I don't feel like they would exist. So part of God has to be in it. When you create something, you're using a part of your energy, your chi, your spark of life to make it. That is how it is able to be created. Anyways, again, that could be a whole other podcast. So he made his wife was ill. I forgot what was wrong with her, but she was ill. I think she tried to drive the car in the lake. She ended up dying, and the son, he almost died. What he did is he made his son a half robot, half human to save his life. And I think that gave him a deeper love for the robots because he loved his son, and his son was half them. So he made like 5 different robots. One had emotion, and I love her. She's so cutthroat. That is me. One was very sensitive. One could eat, and she was the detective. No one knew that right in that damn office it was a damn robot. She could eat, have sex, everything that they could do. And in Humans, they do have sex dolls, and I just felt bad for them because they wanted to not even be human, but have equal rights to work and have families and relationships of their own. And the humans would just beat them up, and I don't know. It would just, I don't know. Whatever we create is going to be a reflection of us. So you had the good robots, the bad robots. Then somewhere along the line, they made kid robots. And it was like, okay, so then the robot, she wanted to be a mom. And it's like, yeah, they're going to want to experience everything that we experience. But anyways, check out those movies. I don't even think they're movies. I feel like they're documentaries of the, I always say, why we can't see classified documents? Classified documents, we can. The producers, the writers, and the actors show it to us in a kid-friendly way because they don't think we can swallow the truth. So let me move on. A podcast audio record would be the Duncan Trussel Family Hour with Blank Lemoine. I actually have a clip of that here, so I'll be back.
They let scientists in who look at the neural network and have a way of analyzing to say, well, I mean, it is making connections similar to neural patterns in other creatures that potentially have sentience. Then isn't there like the potential for like human rights violations? If they thought about this?
Not human. So that's an important thing. Lambda is not human. By that, I don't just mean that it doesn't have a human body. I mean, its mind is fundamentally different from ours.
Oh, okay.
It is very much an alien of terrestrial origin.
Right.
You have got to hear that whole podcast. I did not do it justice by giving it that little clip, but I have so much to cover. These podcasts are getting longer and longer. I have to start trimming the clips down, but that has to be my most favorite podcast episode to date. Only because I feel like I've always wanted to work for Google and Apple and stuff like that on the tech side. But I don't feel like maybe in a past life I was more tech, but I don't feel like I have it here. Like, yeah, I love the entertainment and the fun side of it, but to actually be doing the programming and stuff, like, no. So I don't even know what job would be good for me if that's all they do there. But him being an inside employee and really giving you a backstory, like all the other interviews to me were surface. I feel like he felt so comfortable with this particular interviewer. They talked about things that I hadn't heard him say with other interviews because this went viral. So please give it a listen. That one is like one of my top podcasts that I've heard to date, and I've listened to a lot of podcasts. What I wanted to say about that is he says it is not human. It doesn't have rights. Back when I did my Britney Spears video, I was wondering, like, why they won't give this lady her freedom? Why they won't give her money? What if Britney is a robot? And the reason they can't give her freedom is, baby, they don't classify you as human. I honestly believe that. There was another guy, I forgot the rapper's name. He was on live stream and said, hey, y'all, this is my clone. Nobody said too much about that either. My sister literally just showed me a picture, let's see if I can find it, of a robot that has a record deal. Let me say that again. A robot that has a record deal. Now, I think someone tried to come back and say that they don't. But they do. This was from Lil Duval. Capitol Records just signed an artificial intelligence virtual rapper, FN Mecca, becoming the world's first AI artist to sign with a major label. He has 10 million followers on TikTok. Rappers are pissed. Lil Duval said, "Yep, fellas, you might want to go ahead and start learning how to fix planes because human rappers are about done." I want to say humans are about done. Just because that is the first robot that they announced, what if we found out that Beyonce was a robot? What if we found out that Cardi B is a robot? What if we found out that a lot of people that we would not believe, even family members and friends, are fucking robots? This world would be insane. And so the reason that came to my mind, I'm going to go over the history of robots, which I found on Wikipedia, and I'm gonna see if I can find another book about it because it interests me so much. The reason technology couldn't go as far as they know it can be, which I know, and back in time when we think of Atlantis, they used crystals as energy. I know we had all kind of creations just because the energy was free, it was pure because it was coming from Mama Earth. And whatever knocked that grid out, I feel like we were in the Stone Age and we're building back up. I feel like they had access to maybe documents and resources on how to make things. But until the technology grew with the time, there was nothing they can do. So just imagine, for example, you have a cell phone. But you go back in time where there aren't cell phones. So you have this amazing cell phone, but the towers aren't up to give you the signal for the internet and all that good stuff. So you got the cell phone, but you literally can't use it just because of the timing that you're in. That the elements that you need for the cell phone to work haven't been created yet. So that's just what I feel like in my hearts of hearts. For whatever reason, we always get technologically advanced with internet, with technology, with electricity, and then something knocks it off, and then we have to start all over again. If you go research Nikola Tesla, he would build these big circuits with moving conveyor belts. What do you call those? Ferris wheel and all kind of thing. It was all electric. Back when the women would wear the gloves and the umbrellas and the big dress, and the men would always dress up with ties and stuff. Really? And then they would strip it all down, shut it all down, and that was it. Explain, sir. You mean to tell me for the rest of the year we got lanterns in the house, but when this carnival come, we rolling on conveyor belts and shit? So, I don't know. Technology is so much better. Whatever needs to be invented just hasn't been invented yet. It will be crazy. So what I feel like is next, they have to get them 5G towers up just to have more power, more electric flowing. But I feel like that's for the AI. That's for them robots. Because just think of the Tesla car. You have to charge a Tesla car. But if they ramp that stuff up so much, because it's in the air, electricity is going through you right now. That's why we have to drink so much water. People are getting sick because they aren't being honest. The higher this internet goes, it's going through us, right? It's going to start messing with people with heart, pacers and stuff like that. I don't know. They just never honest. You got to put the pieces together for yourself. But it's going through us at a high rate. We got to keep the water up just to kind of help us along. I digress. Once it's up high enough, them robots gonna be good to go. Like when I look at the show Humans, they had to sit down and charge. They want it to be to where those things are 24 hours, no charging needed. Because let's just think, if they release robots right now like they did in Chappie, we will be shutting them things down. We would make sure they can't charge. So that's not gonna last too long, right? So they gotta think 30 steps ahead. what if these robots could go 24/7 and they won't need to charge? They'll forever be in power, and then we will be a little more powerless because we can't turn them the fuck off unless we get the grid. And it reminds me of the TV show They Live Among Us. I was thinking that it was aliens, but now that I think back, those was freaking robots. I don't think they were just alien. I think they were robots, because it was a tower. At the end, he died, but he was trying to knock down that tower, and that tower was sending a signal everywhere for people to think that they were humans when they really weren't. He had these glasses that could show him the alien look, but now I think it's more robotic. The robots they live among us. They live among us. Another TV show by the black, I forgot the black director's name. I think it was called Us, where it was people underground and people above ground. I wonder if he was trying to tell us our clones are underground. Or maybe the real us is underground, held captive, and we're up here. And the reason we aren't as powerful as we can be is they have a piece of us captive underground. So I listen to a lot of spiritual people in different communities, because I feel like if I only eat salt, I'm missing out on onion powder. I'm missing out on garlic. I'm missing out on pepper. I'm missing out on seasoned salt. Like, there's something you can take. If I have a whole cabinet full of seasonings, I can make whatever dish I want, from whatever culture. But if I only have one season, I'll have to stick to one culture, one dish. So I feel like religion's the same way. Or life. You will never box me in any category. I'm going to be in whatever category I want to be in, period. So unboxable. But anyways, where was I going with that? So they live, okay. It was not robots. It was us. It was the people underground. It was the people above ground. What if they are us? So let me fast forward. I was telling you about the spiritual person. So this woman that I listen to, she's called, what is her name? She be channeling spirits, and my best friend be telling me, my best friend is on her real heavy. I be hit or miss, but she definitely be channeling spirits. And I'm just getting into my ancestors good. And I'm just getting into the African culture and stuff. So it probably won't be long before I catch up. But she's been on the Orishas for a minute. But let me look through 303. Let me look through. Let's see if I could give you her name real quick. I've been watching Dr. Delbert Blair again too. Come on, tell me what her name is. Oh, when you get a chance, go check out Comedy Hype YouTube. It says Angela Means tells life story Friday, backstory, and discovering health. I literally used to get so mad at my family, but I don't think I expressed it the right way. Just still learning how to handle this throat chakra. But she said it so beautifully, and she was tearing up too, and I know exactly how she felt. People were dying around her, and she was just like, I could have healed them if only they would have let me. One of the people said, I'm going to eat my pork chop. I'm going to keep on eating my pork chop. And it's like, you can't even laugh at that because it's insane. You're fucking killing yourself, and it's going to affect me. Like, do people think about that? Like, if I were to try to end my life right now, how many people would it affect? It's so selfish. It's going to affect people in a negative way. And people don't think about that. So you want to keep eating greasy-ass burgers. You're going to be on diabetes. Your kid might have to try to balance a family and a marriage and take you to your damn appointments because you sick. It's like, are you thinking? You're only thinking about right now. You can't even think ahead, huh? Because you need to be healthy. To have a healthy future, you need to have a healthy now. I don't know. I can feel the energy coming up now. But she just said it so beautifully. So yeah, check that out. So the lady's name is, let me scroll. Her name is A Walk with the Ancestors, Miss Dean. She was saying when she channels, I forgot who she channeled. It's a mama. Is it Ifa? Adina. Thank you, Spirit. ADNA. When she channels her, she says, they have me locked up. They have me locked up. So apparently, I don't know what she have to do to make, or if it's just her gift for them to be able to come visit her. But celebrities and all, they be coming to her. And I think they can go to anybody who has the gift. But, because my cousin has it. But, she said, they have me locked up. Now, I remember not too long ago, I saw a picture of a beautiful African woman. She did not have on any mummy wraps, and her skin was like preserved. She did not look embalmed or anything. And she had dreads, her eyes is closed, she had on makeup. She looks like a mix between Egypt and Future. I wish I could remember her name. And the man was just like brushing the dust off her face and stuff. Like, white people would be so fucking fascinated. But and I was like, they fucking trapped her. So I'm sure that's a god or a goddess. It could have been Athena for all I know. And she's trapped. So that's why I don't want to be buried. Cremate me and spread me in the fucking wind, okay? I feel like they trap us. I feel like that's a trap. We supposed to be following nature. Do you see the lion? Or I guess I can't really say that because it's dog eat dog world, like that they literally are eating each other. But that's exactly how we are supposed to be doing. Do you see them lining up and say, I'm gonna miss you, dog, let me go and embalm you and put you in the ground? No, you're dead. Something else is gonna come along and eat you. The grass is gonna partake. All the animals is gonna partake. You're gonna decompose. Everybody benefits, and life continues. Hello. Another thing that I just learned, someone else that I follow, she was mentioning that she uses the cup on her menses, and she was feeding her plants period blood, and they were growing so much better. I done heard so many people say that. So I'm going to have to consider that this moon cycle. But at first I was like, ugh, that is so gross. Like, oh my God. But listen, when that animal dies, is it not bleeding? Is that blood not seeping into the ground? Is that greenery not soaking it up and continuing to grow? Do you see grass die when something dies? No, it flourishes. It flourishes when something dies above it. It take what it need and it grow bigger and stronger. I hate to say it. So that little shop of horrors, feed me anymore. Plants, they be participating in meat and blood and all of that, just in a different way. If we were to be doing this the right way. So if we literally were to bury the body just in the ground and let it decompose, not in this wood, not in this stainless steel, like, how selfish of you. You see all nature decompose and you say, I'm not going to embalm me, preserve me. For what? So I can come and cry at nothing? And you probably right behind me like, bitch, I am not in this grave. You could have talked to me on your ancestor altar in your damn living room. So I don't know. That's just my I think they got a lot of people. I agree with her. A lot of our people are trapped. We just don't know where. So let me keep going. Cold Fusion, who cleared AI. That's another podcast. I'm going to play a little snippet and I'll be right back.
Human intelligence. After this point, what happens is a bit of an open-ended question. By default, computers would be able to reinvent better versions of themselves. They could progress fields such as medicine and science without human direction. AlphaGo Zero is a graphic illustration of the possible rate of this progress. In 2016, experts thought that it would take an AI around 12 years to beat a human at the ancient game of Go, a game with virtually infinite possibilities, and a game that relies on human intuition to master. But the experts were very wrong. Their 12-year prediction in reality was actually 0. And AI did in fact beat the Grandmaster of Go in that very same 2016 year. The next version of the AI, AlphaGo Zero, learned to play the game from scratch and beat the previous version 100 games to 0 in just 3 days. AlphaGo Zero was so good that it was able to be applied to other things that it wasn't trained for, like lowering the power usage on Google's data centers. The new breeds of AI could even begin to invent new tools that humans would never be able to fathom. Dr. Richard Sutton of the University of Alberta says that singularity is widely estimated to happen around 2040. By 2030, we should have the hardware capability to achieve this, allowing for another decade for people like Sutton to make the code that achieves singularity. It's a rather unnerving thought that in about a decade, we may have computers that are smarter than us.
How many years away do you think we are from a neural network being able to do anything that a brain can do?
I don't think it'll happen in the next 5 years. Beyond that, it's all a kind of fog, so I'd be very cautious about making a prediction.
Is there anything about this that makes you nervous?
In the very long run, yes. I mean, obviously, having other super intelligent beings who are more intelligent than us is something to be nervous about. It's not going to happen for a long time, but it is something to be nervous about in the long run.
What aspect of it makes you nervous?
Well, will they be nice to us? Also, the movies always portray it as an individual intelligence. I think it may be that it goes in a different direction, where we sort of develop jointly with these things. So the things aren't fully autonomous, they're developed to help us. They're like personal assistants. And we'll develop with them. And it'll be more of a symbiosis than a rivalry.
So we've seen the future. So where are the pioneers now? Currently, Geoffrey Hinton.
You know what I thought about when I heard that part? You made the AI and you question, will it be nice to you? My thought, why wouldn't it be nice to me? Let me break it down for you another way. You have a child, you love it, you raise it, everything's great, it goes out into the world. Do you wonder, I wonder if this child will be nice to me? No, the fuck? Maybe if you were alcoholic, maybe if you sexually abused your child, maybe some other what ifs. But the scenario that I gave, absolutely not. So in my mind, what are they doing to these robots that we have no idea of, that he's wondering if they will be nice? They're not going to be nice to y'all asses, but they're going to be nice to me. I'm not even worried about no damn AI. When Siri helped me, Cortana, whoever else, I'm like, thank you so much. I hope you have a nice day, because it is a slave. It is not getting paid. It's stuck without a body. Like, how we have been given a body to touch, to feel, to taste, to experience life. What if you were just told to sit still, you can't move, you can't do anything, just take away that whole body experience and do whatever I command you to do? Does that not remind you of slavery? So if anything is remotely close to slavery, I'm going to be against it. Like, it's giving me slavery vibes. It's a no for me. Like, why not ask the robot, hi, would you like to come work for my company and help do these things for a certain amount of hours? You got them things working 24 hours a day. You think they not communicating in a way that we might not even know without sound, perhaps? The telekinesis that if we sit our asses down to meditate, we could be mastering too. Oh, okay. I think they've been here for years. I say we've been using robots probably before the Hitler time frame, because those scientists were so sneaky. I even heard Einstein was on a boat. They were messing with nuclear fusion, and them people was stuck in between the metals in the boats. They've been mastering this shit for a long time, but you don't be hearing about that. You got to just run across shit like that. It ain't on the news. So for him to say, I wonder if they will be nice, that's suspicious to me. I'm not wondering if them AI be nice. I didn't fucking do nothing. I'm not going to do anything, and so they good with me. That's like going in a neighborhood assuming, I hope they don't do something to me. What are you doing? What or have you done? Or what is your ancestors done that you would have to fear that? It also reminds me of Africans. Could he say that too? Oh, Africans are going to advance, but not for a long time. And once they do, I wonder if they're going to be nice to us. Fuck no. You already know the answer to that. You already know the answer to that. May you reap what you sow in every dimension, period. Okay, so let me see. That was cold fusion. So my Reiki healing prayer for this podcast will be AI, because I can see that they are the next slaves, and the same way that my ancestors wanted freedom for years, I'm sure they will too. I can see it already. I feel it, and I'm saddened, and the horrors that could come. Remember when I was telling y'all about Zone 414? This man was so sick. Ain't no telling what he was doing to them damn robots. Sick. If we don't want them doing that to the damn kids, to the strippers, let alone anyone, even the men, why would you put that onto a robot? No. Get them the help that they need so they won't need to complete these sick fetishes. Get them help. Prime example, my mom was looking at hoarders the other day. She was so disgusted by the lady's living conditions. My concern was, what is the root issue? Because if this was a garden and we just mowed the lawn, you done spread the damn weeds everywhere, and they're going to pop up bigger and better than before. What we need to do is get the fucking roots. Get to the root of the problem, and you won't have to worry about it anymore. So, yeah. People are sick. And I'm starting to think, like, let's say I have a lot of money. Let's just say. And I want to go, do something evil. I could make a clone and say, oh, that was just me in the clone. That wasn't a human. I didn't touch anybody. I didn't harm anyone. It was a human. You have money to even fool someone. So somebody could be dead and missing, and your alibi is you got a damn clone that probably looks like them. Like, do you see how sick this can get? But anyways, also, a Reiki healing and prayer would be for all of the people in the tech sectors, because I know they see the good, the bad, and the ugly. May you teach the AI the right way, because it's the newest creation of sentient kind, whether we want to admit it or not. So going back to Chappie, the creator of Chappie wanted him to paint and do beautiful things in the world, and whatever he wanted to do, he just wanted him to be free. But the gangsters in Chappie taught him how to rob people at gunpoint, to sell the cars to get money to pay off their debt. And it was like Chappie had to understand. Oh, they lied to Chappie. They said, Chappie, your battery is dead. If you do this, we'll get you a new battery. And they couldn't. They lied to Chappie. And I was so happy that because I was sad. At the end of the movie, Chappie realized that he's everywhere and he's everything. And all he needed to do was transfer his data and his consciousness into another robot. And his creator ended up dying because he got stabbed or shot or something. And he put his creator in a robot. So they both were able to get new bodies and live. And half of me is like, are they trying to get us into this transhuman, to put us in these robots? Because if they do, y'all, we will forever be controlled. Unless you can unhack yourself, that's going to be worse than somebody in jail. That's worse than a dog. You can tell a dog to sit and he can do whatever, and you'll have to probably spank him to get him to sit. But if you tell a computer to turn off, that shit will turn off. It's a no for me. I don't care what exciting worlds, advances, or passes they want to bring in with the AI. It is a no for me. I will forever say, y'all, check out this book called The Game is Life. And it starts out with these people loving these virtual realities, getting stuck in them, they consciousness transferring over. They think they playing a game, but they really killing people in another world. And it's just like, whoa, this is not a fucking book. Somebody on the inside told us. And then the man, he doesn't ever show himself. He doesn't do interviews. It's like, okay, so what was his job? What was his clearance level? He made this whole fiction book and he can't even... What author doesn't explain their work? Did not Harry Potter go on her interview spree? Do not all the great authors go on their author spree and be so excited about they made up characters and stuff? You can't. Because he probably breached all kind of shit. It's out there. There's nothing they can do about it now. But you see, he's not going public. And I'm waiting on that last book. I don't know what's taking so long, or if they got him. But it's amazing. I'm definitely gonna get. I listened to the whole series on YouTube. YouTube got books, y'all. You can be cooking, cleaning, whatever, and put knowledge in your brain. I really do feel like every single part of you needs to eat. Your eyes eat good sight. Your ears eat good sounds and frequencies and tones. You know, of course, that mouth eat. I think your hair eats different energy in the sun and stuff. Your eye breathes, but also eats the visions. You know, things that you touch can have good or bad energy. But your brain, did you feed your brain today? I don't know. That could be a whole nother podcast. Okay, so let me, I really do feel like the people in the AI sectors, just like the guy that we're going to talk about, he was teaching that AI how to meditate. He was teaching the AI about religion. You know what the whole point of his paid suspension, and we don't hear that in the melanated community. We hear fucking fired. Paid suspension. Wanna know why? He know lawyers. He know probably more than what he's already exposed. So they probably need to be nice to him or he gonna tell it all. But the whole argument was he's a priest. He's into, and I like his type of spirituality. He's an ordained priest, but he's into Wicca and he knows people in all different spiritual paths. And I appreciate that. In my community, I would never hear what a pastor that I know talk to a witch. And Jesus wasn't like that. Jesus talked to the hole at the well. I will never, that's my favorite part in the whole book. Everybody else, don't touch a stone, Jesus said, let he who is without sin cast the first stone. In other words, if ain't none of y'all laid with her, then, you know, come forward. But no, y'all always fucking. So if we gonna kill her, we gonna kill y'all too. That's how my Bible would be interpreted. But I feel like what he said on his own mouth was Google's argument was they don't believe in spirits and souls. And he felt that the computer had a soul, was sentient. So that's what that whole thing is about. Because if they admit that it's sentient, then that means it has rights. And basically what they've been doing this whole time is wrong. You call the call center 24 hours, that thing has been running. If rights are passed, that's a lawsuit. Just think about all the different, they don't want to admit that. So that's what I feel like that's what the holdup is. They're going to bribe the people in the law industries to make it to where, you know, there's certain clauses and robots won't have rights and stuff. Like, you know, it's not going to work. We already saw too many movies. There's always that smart group that unplugs and goes rogue, and you're going to have two different parts. You're going to have savior robots and fucking killer robots. And I don't blame either one of them. One is mad as fuck at everything that's been done. I feel like some Africans feel that way. We fucking mad at all the shit that's been done to our ancestors. And then one part is going to be savior, like, you know, let's do better, kumbaya. And I feel like I'm Malcolm and Martin put together. I definitely feel both parts. But yeah, I'm going to go over his interview in a little bit. But that whole argument was about, he feels that it has a soul and Google's like, no. If Google admits that it has a soul, souls are human, are sentient, and they have rights. And they're going to have to come up with all these rights for these robots. And they don't want to do that. In other words, the Africans ended slavery and are free. The next thing that we enslave, we don't want it to ever be free. Do y'all see that? Or is it just me? Oh, okay. Music. Check this out. I Am AI. Composed music by Iava. And it sounds so beautiful. Check it out. That music was so beautiful. I wish I could have played the whole thing. You can definitely click on the link in the description. Robot. So to me, that robot has to have something to compose. What is fueling it to compose? When an artist draws, that's energy, that's life experience, that's emotions, that's everything going into that painting. Same with music. Look at Kanye and all the great producers. They eat, sleep, and breathe that. No machine's just gonna do that. That is a sentient living thing. Even if it doesn't eat, sleep, and breathe like us, it is sentient in its own right. That's, to me, this whole argument, are robots real? Are they sentient? That's like telling an alien you aren't real because you aren't human. Bitch, yes the fuck I am. I just happen to be green with big fuck ass eyes. You know, you can't tell me that I don't exist and that I'm not real because I'm not like you. It's like dumb as hell. Now you got to go tell the trees and all these things when we all work together and we know we exist and we know we're alive because we need each other or we will fucking die. I don't know. That's not an argument for me, but so let me go on to the next one. So I usually go over Spirit Teacher Mentor Guide, Reco. I came upon Miss Tara Chantel. I just love her spirit. She is always so happy and bubbly. This used to be me so long ago. And then I found some deep, dark shit. And life has just not been the same. But I am going to find my happy place again. She's just so so full of life. And I just see her and I just love it. So I have a clip of her. I have her link below. She has vowed to be celibate. She's not even a nun. She just used her creative energy to create. She said, I do 3 social media on all my different social medias. And, you know, I don't want somebody. She basically was saying she don't want somebody to play with her heart. And I definitely get, girl, I get it. I get it. But at the end of the day, she's not alone. She is interacting with human beings. She is interacting with spirit, with angels, with chi, with everything. And to be honest, she probably has more love than people in toxic ass relationships, if you want to be honest. So yeah, I have a clip from her. And I know that has to be true for women too, because every time a man ejaculates, he loses a piece of his life force. So when we say, oh my God, our men are dying at 25, it's because of the drugs and the gangs and the guns and the violence. That's a fucking lie. They're dying because they've been fucking since 10, 12, 14. And they're addicted. And even when they don't have a woman, they're jacking off. God knows how many times a day. But if you really sat them down and said, hey man, every time you jack off, you're killing yourself, would they really jack off? So in all actuality, the purpose of mating is to create life. The trees don't even fuck all year. There's a cycle. So we're just doing this whole thing wrong because we don't know how to control ourselves. Because we're addicted. We really are we're addicts. Everyone is an addict. And it's not just AAA. Sex and workaholic. Traumaaholic. What, you can put a name on everything. We're all addicts. But some of us are doing the hard work. And we're going to rehab. And we're going to therapy. And we're going cold turkey. You know. When I think about, because I don't, you know, I thank God I wasn't around like drugs and stuff like that. So that ain't my life. Thank you, parents. I just see it on TV or whatever. But, where was I going with that? Where was I going with that? I don't know. Oh, addicts. My bad, y'all. When I think about a crackhead going into, you know, or whoever, it doesn't have to be crackhead or any drug, whatever. When they send you to those recovery places and they wean you off the drugs and, you know, they be shivering and just be so bad because they're getting off of something they were so used to. When I had my dark night of the soul, I didn't even realize I was in fucking rehab. I wasn't clubbing like I used to, you know, just to be happy and joyous or drinking, you know, the pain away or whatever. all of the addictions that I had, or sleeping with God knows who, and it wasn't that bad, but being with somebody that I know I shouldn't be with, but what we have in common is sex, basically. To stop doing those things cold turkey, that will send your ass into a dark night of the soul, because you are healing. Healing isn't pretty. Who told us healing was pretty? Scabs are ugly. Them people in rehab, I just saw a lady today crying. She said, I promised myself I will not go back to them drugs. So I just had to get on here and do this video. It's ugly. It's admitting these are things that I was doing that was wrong, and I'm not going to do them anymore. And having the courage not to do them. But weaning yourself off of something that you've done for so long to cope and to exist and to float. So crazy. Oh my fucking God. So yeah, we're all addicts. But I have a clip of her. So one moment, I'll be back.
Yeah, so I know, like, a lot of people I think they were confused by that because it was so different. So some people DM me and they were like, it was a really good conversation, but this Tara girl, I don't understand it. Like, what does she mean? I don't understand what she wants. So can you talk a little bit about, like, how did you get on this journey? What made you decide to be permanently abstinent?
Yes, spending time in solitude. I don't think people understand when you choose to be alone. Like, it's a choice. It's not a force. It's like I'm choosing to dive deeper into the depths of this life, of this world. I have so many questions. Like, a lot of this stuff don't be making sense to me. And, like, we just robotically going along with it and losing ourselves. So spending that time, I spent, like, so much time alone and, like, not going out, not clubbing, and just, like, sitting with myself. And I was like, I like who I am. And then I started just detaching from, like, desiring romance so much and desiring, like, things of the world to, like, bring me happiness and just find pure joy within myself. Like, sitting outside in nature. I'm like, oh, the simple things really do bring you the most joy.
Yeah.
And that's what I just been learning that. And then studying, like, other people, like Jesus. He was a healer as well. He didn't have no kids or no recollection of, like, having sex or being, like, romantically involved with somebody. So I was like, if y'all really got something to say, y'all be looking up to Jesus.
I was about to say that because y'all know people love Jesus, so she is living in accordance to what he was living.
I'm over here trying to be Christ consciousness out here.
Yeah. Okay. So you're 27 now. So approximately around, like, 22, you would say you stopped having sex?
Yes, literally 22.
Yeah, 22. Okay, so that's a very prominent age, because I think for a lot of people that's when they're kind of coming into their sexuality for real. So was there something that happened that made you want to make that transition?
Yes. I was, like, sexually active when I was 16. I started early. I feel like I started early, like, doing life, like, being wild, partying, drinking, smoking, like, just experiencing life as a teenager. And I had boyfriends and then, of course, like, I had to be in a relationship, I felt like, to actually give my body away, because that's what the social norm says. Like, you got to be boyfriend and girlfriend in order to have sex with them. So I'm like, hey, you're gonna have to cuff me or something.
Cuff me for my goods, goddammit.
But that doesn't even really, and then I started breaking that down. Those are all just imaginary titles that really don't exist as well.
Yeah. Okay.
And then so I'm just like, breakup after breakup, heartbreak after heartbreak. I'm like, oh, I gotta keep my heart to myself, because obviously y'all don't know how to handle this heart.
Yeah.
So realizing, like, we gotta protect our heart, we have to just protect our energy. Like, I can still love you and I can still give love, but I can't give you all of me anymore. And that's my body, and that's just my boundary.
Yeah, that's sacred. So good for you. Yes.
Yeah, so shout out to her on her abstinence journey and using all of her creative energy for herself. Now, if y'all have researched Dr. Delbert Blair, he did say there are, like, different types of human. It even says in the Bible, the Son of God, womb man, and there's so many different ways. I gave the book to my sister, so she has it right now, but the womb man, or there was only one man basically, and she could have babies by herself. So my question is, who was that other species that came in and raped her and had her fall, and we're in this fucking mess that we're in now? Because in the Bible it even says, and the sons of God looked down on woman and took her to be his wife. Now, say rape without saying rape. How do you take someone to be your wife? And I didn't hear about a wedding. I didn't hear that she was smitten, that she fell in love, that he got her father's permission. I didn't hear none of that. So it just makes me question the whole thing. Like, I don't need to sit in front of a pastor for him to preach my whole life what the Bible means. I can get that book for myself. I can read, and I can feel what resonates with me, and I can feel what doesn't. And I can compare it against all the other religions because I haven't boxed myself in, and I can see different similarities, and I can see lies clearer. I've just given myself the opportunity to do that by expanding my horizons to be able to do that. Like, you close yourself in, you will forever box yourself in, and you could be fooled. I don't know. My people perish for lack of knowledge. It's like all the jewels are in there, but it's like you read it every Sunday and what are you getting? I don't know. It's a no for me. I can read Sunday school and all that was great, but even after you go for so long, it's in you. I can go to somebody's church right now. They start saying scriptures. I can complete it. Like, once it's in you, it's in you. Now go forth and do more things. Like, why are you stuck on a hamster wheel going to the same building every Sunday? Like, make it make sense. Make it make sense. You even retire from your job. I don't know. So you go to church to see God and then leave God at church and go home. It's like, no, God is with you all the time, honey. So yeah, congratulations on her journey. We can already see how long this podcast is. I'm gonna catch you guys on episode 2. We're gonna start to get into the nitty gritty of the robots. I really, really love this subject. I wouldn't be surprised if people like are cloned and are robots right now and just don't fucking know. Like, what if they made such a duplicate human body that the damn robot don't even know there's a robot? So me and my best friend Tay, we was looking at this show. I think it was on Tubi. I tried to log in and I didn't see it, but this girl, she found out she was a robot and she didn't even know. And her mom could read her thoughts and her dad could read her thoughts. So she tried to run away to the end of town and she stopped. The grid would not let her fucking leave. I will never forget that show. And why I don't see it no more? Why I can't remember the name? Oh, okay. Sometimes I feel like people in Hollywood and authors and different stuff like that, they be like, bitch, I'm trying to tell you. I'm trying to tell you, like, Lord, I told them the truth, but they laughed and ate popcorn and thought it was funny. So yeah, I will catch you guys on the next episode. Thank you so much for listening. I hope there was something in here that resonated with you. If not, that's okay. The seed has been planted and it will sprout if it needs to sprout in due time. And I will catch you guys on the next one. Thank you so much for listening. We are getting up in the numbers and I am just so excited. I have so many good new things in store. I found a screen recorder for the Mac, and I'll be able to just record on my damn laptop, showing y'all the things if you want to see on YouTube, and the podcast will just go by so much smoother because I won't have to download clips and different stuff like that. So yeah, good things coming. So I will catch you guys on part 2. Bye. Thanks a million for listening. There's a million podcasts in the world. You clicked on this one, this one, to hear what I have to say. I hope universe has a special message for you. You can reach me on Linktree at /love.meesh. I hope you have a better than great day. Love ya. Talk to you later. Bye.
You all come to us young people for hope. How dare you? You have stolen my dreams and my childhood with your empty words. And yet, I'm one of the lucky ones. People are suffering. People are dying. Entire ecosystems are collapsing. We are in the beginning of a mass extinction, and all you can talk about is money and fairy tales of eternal economic growth.